Hello guys! Naimbanghal daw tayo manan, kabayan. Ay lasusilan po ito para sa Nanay's Legacy. Today's episode, we're talking about our green card interview. But before that, gusto ko munang pag-usapan yung mga nangyari before ng interview. So, remember na sa una kong video, sinabi ko about tourist visa. So, 2018, I was here as a tourist. I stayed here 5 months. And after 5 months, I went home to the Philippines. And I stayed there for 6 months. October 2019, I came back here as a tourist pa rin. Pero ano kaya yung mga nangyari? Bakit humantong ako na hindi na ako umuwi sa Pilipinas? Dito natin masasagot yon. Pakinggan ninyong mabuti kung anong nangyari sa amin sa interview. Case-to-case basis yan. Ang sa amin, the worst. Tara, pakinggan niyo mabuti ang interview experience
Hi, I'm Brian, and this is my wife, Isla, and today we are going to be talking about our green card interview. Okay, so our interview happened July 2nd, 2021, and it was up in Albany, New York, and we stayed in a hotel the night before because we had an early morning interview at 8:15. So we showed up at the interview at around 8 o'clock and made our way through the doors at maybe 8:10, and there was already people going through the security checkpoint. So we waited in line and went through security, and then we checked in with someone else. We had to present our documentation to get checked in. So then we took a seat, and we were hoping and thinking we were going to be the interviewer would come out in a minute or two, but our interview took about 1 hour to come out to get us. So let me just say that it's not based on a first come first serve basis. Your interviewer has scrutinized, reviewed your documentation, so he knows your case well. He or she knows your case well. So, so he came out and got us about an hour later and brought us into his office, and we stood in his office and we did the oath to be truthful, and then we took a seat. And we sat down, and he turned to me and asked me about how I knew Isla and how things happened between us. So, I told him about our situation, and, that Isla first came over on a B1, B2 visa, and had gone back one other time, and then had visited me again. And then during that visit, it was our intention to do the K1, which we did, and we were approved while she was here visiting me. And so, I told him that because of COVID, the flights were canceled. Several flights were canceled, so she couldn't get back to the Philippines. So we spoke with a lawyer, and he advised us that it would be better for her and I to get married while she's in the States. So we did the adjustment of status after the K1. Even though we were approved, we abandoned that. Okay, that all said, he asked me questions about the I-130. And, he asked me who I am, where I live, things like that. So he asked me a couple questions about the I-130. And one of the serious questions that he asked me that caught me off guard was he pointed out what he said was an inconsistency between what I had written in the K1 which was Isla was here for a visit and was living at home in the Philippines, versus what I wrote in the I-130, which was Isla's living with me because we're now married. And so he pointed out that as an inconsistency, and that I was indeed trying to misrepresent myself in the documentation. And, it was very off-putting. So I felt myself get a bit angry, and I stuck my hand out and said no, no, no type deal, and then proceeded to defend the fact that my evidence shows, the canceled flights, that I did try to make an attempt to get her home, and that there was no intention for her to come here and for us to marry while she was on the visa. So, one of the things that I took from this is, wow, this man is trying to find out if I'm performing like some sort of marital fraud, and he was intending on finding out at that point. So be truthful, if you're marrying under the proper legal terms, just be truthful about your circumstances. Our interview was difficult. It was a hard interview. It was not the typical interview that you may have heard from other YouTubers, where they're saying the interviewer asked us which side of the bed we each sleep on, or colors of toothbrushes and things of the like. We were asked serious, hard questions about our relationship and the legitimacy of our relationship. And we were in there for about an hour. So it was not some of the other things you heard about from other YouTubers, that they were in there for 5, 10, 15 minutes, maybe a half an hour. We were in there for an hour, and it was very tense and uncomfortable. So I think he then started to talk to Isla after he got done with me.
Okay, for me, the interviewer got his questions through the I-485. That is the application for adjustment of status. He just based everything from that, my name, Brian's name, my birthplace, my parents' name. He just based it. And you'll just say, correct. That's true. That's right. So, but when we got in the general eligibility and inadmissibility grounds, that is where the hard questions were. So at first it will be all about topics about terrorism, prostitution, drugs.
If you had done any of those things in your past.
Yeah. But the thing is, he has this question: have you ever violated the terms or conditions of your non-immigrant status?
And you answered?
And I answered, yes. Because I violated my condition as non-immigrant through overstaying here in America.
Your visa, visitor's visa.
My visitor's visa, yeah. I overstayed, but before that happened, we applied for the extension of visa. But it did not come to us immediately. After 6 months, then that we got the notification, but
it expired. And by that time, we had spoken with an immigration attorney, and we were in the process of getting married. So our immigration lawyer suggested that we essentially write a letter to USCIS saying that we are going to abandon the extension of stay, I-539. So I wrote a letter to them, and I let them know that we were doing an adjustment of status and that we were abandoning that application.
And then the next question he asked, have you ever committed a crime of any kind, even if you were not arrested, cited, charged with, or tried for that crime? And I was surprised, or I was startled by the question, because I said, yes, I committed a crime. I violated the law. And that is the overstaying here in America.
Right. So it's kind of like asking the same question in a different way. So you have to be prepared for that. If you're asked that question and you've overstayed your visa, this is our example. You need to say that you overstayed your visa, that you were here illegally, essentially, So be prepared for that. But, I think that's it. Just don't be off put by some of these questions.
Sometimes you're not prepared for that question.
Yeah.
So you just need to listen and think first before you answer, because it's hard that you answered immediately and your answer is wrong. So you have to think first before you answer. And then after that question, he looked straight at me and he said, you have the intention to get married here. That's your intention. That's why you came here for the B1, B2 visa.
Yeah.
And I stopped for a while and breathed. And then I told him, no, I don't have the intention to get married here in my B1, B2 visa. I was here for my second visit to Brian to process our K1 visa and go home to the Philippines, be interviewed, and have my medical. That's all our intention. It just happened that COVID-19 strike. That's why I don't have the chance to go home to the Philippines, and all my flights were canceled.
Right.
And he asked me if I can prove all the cancellation of my flights, and I gave it to him.
Right. We had copies of all the flight cancellation emails, and all the stuff that he asked for, he already had in the packet. And I don't know, do you want me to tell them that he didn't accept any of our photographs? Mm-hmm. Nothing. He didn't want any of it. He just, I had all the letters I'd written to USCIS.
He asked you, how many letters did you send?
Yeah. And I said 3 or 4. I don't remember. Or did I say more than that? I don't remember.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
remember?
Yeah. And he corrected me. You sent this many. But
4. You sent 4.
Yeah, right. So, of course I couldn't exactly remember that detail. But, is there any more you want to go with?
No, that's all. I just want to tell you that you should be prepared, and don't, please expect the worst. Because we didn't expect that we're going through those kind of questions. Yeah, our situation is very complicated, but we didn't expect, because our age.
Right,
you
we're
can
older.
See our age.
We're an older couple, and so we're not going to be having kids or bringing kids or any of that other stuff. So, it seemed like we were just going to be a slam dunk, in and out within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we thought we were also going to get the, did anyone attend your wedding or any of those questions? No, we did not get any of those questions. We had just the hard questions of explaining our relationship, as well as what made us get married with using the adjustment of status. So, just like Isla said, be prepared, because it could be a difficult interview. Is that it?
Yeah, that's
all right.
it. I remember the last part.
Oh, the last part, of course. All right, yeah. So I asked him
he asked first.
He said,
"Is there any questions?
Are there any? Do you guys have any other questions?" And I said, "Yes. Are you going to approve this girl?" And he just said, very stoic. I mean, you couldn't tell what was in his mind. He just said, if I have any other questions or I require any other evidence, you'll know in 7 to 10 days. And so he was like, anything else? And that was it. And we just got up and walked out feeling, I don't know, I felt, dumbstruck towards it all, that it was so harsh and intense. I certainly sat in the interview feeling, my blood, getting a bit hot with this guy because he was, insinuating that I was a liar, on the application. So that made me very defensive and agitated. But nonetheless, we got through it. We got up and then we left, and we both walked out. And
yeah, when we reached the hotel, I asked him to check online.
Oh, to see the case status?
The case status.
But there was nothing. And I checked later on that day, and when I checked...
When you check what? The card is...
You're not supposed to say that. You're going to put that in there.
Okay. So we're done?
Yep, that's it. How's it going?
Okay. Oh, really? Wow. Thank you. My goodness. I love you, baby. So we got it. Oh my god. I don't even know how to open it. Goodness. I'm so excited. Oh goodness. Let me see. Is there really? Oh. I got it. Thank you, Lord. I love you, baby.
Love you, baby. Ready? And action. Hi guys, I'm Brian and this is my wife Isla, and today we're going to talk about our green card interview experience. Isn't that you?
No, it's you. You're going to do
The
all
first
this.
part is totally up to me.
Up to you.
Oh, I forgot. Just erase that because it's going to be a lot. I totally forgot that we did it that way. And action. Stop. You're laughing over there. It's making me laugh.